Hey everyone, this is Arado and we're here to talk about the new Saga Soul banner featuring Sekishusai, Sparrow, and Aries. First off, I want to give a shout out to Sato-san. His Twitter handle is ultima_patria for the awesome Saga Frontier 1 art we have displayed right now. So if you have the chance, please give his Twitter page a visit. He does a lot of Saga Frontier 1 art. But yeah, with that, let's go to the banner review. So first off, with Sekishusai, he is a really strong one-shot single target attacker with covering, slash, and thunder. However, that strong single target attack can only be used on turn 2 onwards. So gotta take note of that whenever you're planning on your rotation, whenever you do an auto farming. And then he can act as a pseudo tank because whenever he gets hit, he buffs himself with endurance and willpower. So it kind of acts in a way how Strum Ikonen's design is. So and then he also has an innate taunt stance. He buffs himself taunt stance every turn, and that actually stacks with one another. So with that, and on top of his second skill, with being able to be in a counter stance, that makes him really useful in a way that he can stack up those endurance and willpower buff, and at the same time, with the global change, that he is able to get himself in overdrive faster, which goes to the third point in which if you go to for overdrive, he has a follow-up where it's jolting slash plus. It can be used with skill number 3, jolting slash ex, and then he would go to jolting slash plus, or you can go on a counter stance because it is a stance. He can go overdrive with that, and if he does a counter, that it would count as an overdrive. So you would do disarm, and then it would follow up with jolting slash plus. So you can take good advantage of that. And if you have somebody else in the party that can give BP, that would be helpful because, as you know, Sekishusai doesn't have any innate BP recovery, and he really needs that to be able to counter better. If not, has to wait for skill number 3 to recharge for him to be able to do one big burst. Alright, next up is Sparrow. So Sparrow, I actually targeted for this banner, as you see in the video that I was able to get him. The main reason why I targeted for Sparrow is the first point, wherein he's a really good row farmer. He covers Pierce and Slash with Izuna, and then Izuna uses 9 BP. However, if Sparrow does a kill on that turn where he uses Izuna, he would recover 5 BP on taking down one or more enemy, and then he would also get BP during the turn. So in total, he would get 6 BP, and he would be able to keep on using Izuna every turn, say on a story quest where there are 3 rounds. He would be able to use Izuna every start of round. The secondary uses for Sparrow would be single target intelligence and agility debuffer and confused inflictor. So for the second point, I know it's already lesser of a value to have debuffer in the party. They would have their own value come up again in JP in the future, just like how it is now in JP, where some of the attacks you would need to have certain debuffing capability and even cleansing to some battles, so that you would be able to sustain the damage and be able to mitigate or actually be able to survive the attack better. So do not underestimate debuffer for now. Even though for Sparrow, it is just a small effect, it may be able to help you if you don't have any other debuffer, either for intelligence and agility. In the future, I think there are better debuffer if you're just looking for Sparrow to be a debuffer. To name a few, New Year Acellus would have a medium effect AoE intelligence debuff, and then there's also beachside label, which I personally used in the egg battle. Also AoE intelligence debuff for medium effect. For agility debuffing, I haven't really used much in future battle. It's mostly intelligence debuffing, mainly because some of the deadlier battles in the future are intelligence based. There are some agility based, but very rare that you would need to debuff properly to survive the attack. So just keep note of those points if you're wanting to get Sparrow other than being a row farmer. But the main his main bread and butter is being a good row farmer. That's it. And he would be able to do some story quests where he would be able to train 4 units. And before you ask if there is gonna be more row farming versus column farming, that would be a no, because usually when they release a stage, there would be a stage where you can do row farming or you can do column farming, single target or AoE. It depends on how what your lineup is, and that goes the same with events in the future. So I think when they introduce the wedding banner with wedding Acelus, white rose, and so on, that's when they introduce as well row, column, single target, and AoE farming. But yeah. Alright, last one is Aries. So Aries is a niche defense support. So he has a lot of guard up and defense boost, some of which rely on RNG, and he himself is very tanky with Iron Wall 6. With the close quarters ability, second ability, it's unfortunately unfortunately relies on RNG, so high chance is 37%. But if that procs to your favor, then you would have attack boost and defense boost. And just to recap, attack boost and defense boost would stack with moral up and guard up accordingly. So just keep note of that. And then his skill number 3 is something unique to Ares, where it's a defense boost against pierce and blunt. So there might be specific application for those defenses. It's pretty much how they implemented Summer Miriam. So Summer Miriam can mitigate damage from sun, I believe. Sun and heat, from what I remember. I could be wrong. But basically, that defense boost is instrumental to the genocide heart attack in the future. So some people are able to clear that properly with the help of Summer Miriam. So there might be some future attacks, either as scheduled or a global original, where you might need Ares for the defenses. But yeah, as far as this banner goes, I would say if you are lacking on row farmer, um, Sparrow is a really solid option. And Sparrow also has a future style with the beachside banner with Falcon. And then Sekishusai, even though he doesn't have a future style, having that counter capability in your pocket is still useful. I know as far as AI battle goes in some tower events like what we're gonna have for Romancing Saga 2 stage, those AI battles have multiple targets, so having Urpina or Fornius are still the good options to have. But Sekishusai is still good in terms of being able to deal really good damage to single target. So other than that, he would be able to be a pseudo tank with in time because of the endurance and willpower stacking on hit that he can stack just like Strum Ikonen. But yep, that's my thoughts in this banner. Hopefully it's able to help you understand the characters better and maybe this help you decide on whether they are good or not. And again, if you have the chance, please visit Sato-san's page in Twitter, Ultima_Patria, for a lot of Saga Frontier 1 art. Until then, thank you so much and see you in the next video or stream.